Hello everyone and welcome to the Voices 2021 Awards. Voices is a national competition to celebrate the creativity of children in care and young care leavers. It's put together by Coram Voice and supported by Cadence Innova. I'm delighted to be hosting it again for the fifth year. I hope they ask me next year and I hope that we get to do it for real next year. We get to meet in person. But in the meantime, we can celebrate the talent and achievements of some of the young writers who took part in our competition. And I'm delighted now to introduce my co-host, who is somebody who knows just how special the awards are, because she's a former winner from the 2019 Care Leaver category and was a judge last year. So please say hello to my fellow host, Sophia Alexandra Hall. Hello, Sophia.
Thanks, Peter. I am delighted and humbled to have been asked to co-host this year's Voices Awards. Writing is such an important part of my life, and since I won the competition back in 2019, I've now completed a journalism qualification, and I now work as a freelance journalist writing stories for national papers. The competition just means so much to me because it's all about encouraging young people in care to use their voices and encouraging non-care experienced people to listen. Initiatives like Voices have helped me to embrace my care experience as an important and integral part of my identity. And I hope it helps to make a positive impact for all the young people who entered this year. Thank you so much to everyone who shared their pieces with us this year. It's been an honour to read your words and stories, and you should all be so proud. We're really excited to share them with you tonight.
I'd love to just echo Sophia's words about this. I'm always blown away by the quality of the writing that happens in this competition. It's really impressive and always a delight to read. Thank you to each and every one of you who took part and shared your brilliant work with us. The special subject of this year's competition was What Makes Life Good? And we received over 250 entries from all across the country, and the judges had the very difficult job of shortlisting these down to 24 pieces and making some choices about who would win and who wouldn't. But basically, everyone's a winner as far as I'm concerned, because the quality of the material and the involvement with this competition is really what it's all about. And it's very impressive. The shortlisted pieces have been judged by a panel of judges who are a select group of very important people. But joining them this year are a number of young judges, young people who have been finalists in previous years' competition, and it's great to welcome them back into the fold. They had the very tough challenge of judging the pieces based on how well the entries engaged with the theme that we'd set for this year, the strength and originality of the voices used, and how effectively this work engaged the reader's emotions, and how well it was constructed and put together. So a big thank you to all of our judges for the time they spent on this. We'd also like to thank our Voices 2021 headline sponsors, Cadence Innova. They also sponsored last year's awards, and without their ongoing support, the awards would not be possible. I'd now like to introduce Cadence Innova to say a few words about why they are proud to support this important initiative.
Hi, I'm Gary Ashby, and I'm one of the founding partners of Cadence Innova. We've been working with Coram for over 3 years now, and are immensely proud and excited to be sponsoring the Voices 2021 Awards. This competition has allowed young people in care and care leavers to present their creative side, and we've been blown away by the stories being entered in the past 2 years. I can't wait to see this year's winners in July. Cadence is a business transformation consultancy with the aim to leave a positive impact on society through the work we do and the organisations we work with. We want to help make life great. We strongly believe that young people deserve the opportunity to be heard and a platform to express themselves. Working with the Coram Voices Awards allows us to give that opportunity to young people in care and care leavers. We want to thank everyone at Coram for all their efforts in putting this great event together. Everyone knows that the past year has been difficult with the challenges the pandemic has brought for all of us. With that background in mind, this year's theme of what makes life great is important for us all. And we'd also like to thank and congratulate all the participants who submitted such great pieces of work. We wish all of you who have been shortlisted the best of luck and congratulations to the winners.
A big thank you again to Cadence Innova for your generous support. Now, before we get started with our first category announcement, I know, but just a reminder to share your comments in the live chat on YouTube tonight, and you can also join in the conversation on social media using the hashtag Voices2021. So, now all that's left to say is good luck.
And now I'd like to introduce our first category for this evening, the primary category, and welcome our first judges, M. Norrie and Alan Dupre, to announce the results.
Hello everyone. It's a real privilege to be here this evening and to be able to be part of judging the primary category on what makes life good, along with Ryan, Alan and Tioni. I'm going to start by announcing the three commended winners, and then Alan's going to announce our third place runner-up and our winner. I just want to say to everyone though, very well done. It was a real privilege to read your words and to hear how you've expressed yourselves, and we were really delighted with all the entries this year. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of reading because I've got it here. I've got some notes. So our first commended entry is What Makes Life Worth Living, and that's by Lydia. And Lydia, this piece took us on a real journey, we found. I loved the beginning introduction paragraph. It had a brilliant voice. There was a real personality behind the words. And we felt that we got to know you by going through the piece. I like the way it was directed to the reader. It really encouraged empathy and encouraged us to kind of engage with our feelings. And the diary format really helped bring the writer's thoughts to life. This was a very well written and thoughtful piece, so very well done. You should be proud of yourself. And if you don't already, you might want to consider starting a diary. It's a good way of putting self-expression on the page, I think. Our second commended entry is What Makes Life Good and What I'm Lucky to Have, and this was by Tyler. And we loved this list poem, which was just absolutely full of gratitude. We just really loved how the writer considered both the good and the bad things in life, and he demonstrated that really knew how to count their blessings, even about the most simple things. The use of the words and sentence structure and starting many of the lines with the same refrain, which was I'm lucky, gave the poem a real energetic rhythm and an excellent focus. It honed us in on us having to then consider what we thought we felt lucky about. This way of writing, made us really connect and focus on our own things we felt lucky about. What struck me personally was the brilliant line about being stung by a bee, which had me laughing out loud. It was unexpected, funny and very moving, and showed that even by experiencing something bad and painful, it can be turned into a positive, and it seemed like it had been turned into a positive by the writer, which actually is a very clever thing to do. So well done. That's our second commended entry. And our third commended entry is My Life by Tyler. And we thought this was a really moving piece of writing. There was a real progression through the piece. And in some ways, this piece took us on the biggest emotional journey. It was a real privilege to have an insight into this young person's life and to see how things had changed and what they'd overcome, and to notice that they could still have a really positive attitude. And it was a real reminder that all we need to really do is feel safe and loved, and everyone's individual stories can have a happy ending. I think that's really important to note, that we really got hope from this piece. And now it's over to Alan, where he's going to deliver the rest of the good news. So very well done, everyone. I was really, really pleased to read your work. I think you've done a fantastic job.
Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be here tonight supporting this wonderful initiative. I grew up in children's homes and writing was a great way for me to express my feelings and emotions and to explore other worlds. Writing is valuable and important, especially when you have something to say. I'm now pleased to announce our top 3 entries in the primary category. In third place, My Story by Keris. This piece has a simple take on happiness, giving a point of view that comes from the heart. It has an underlying positivity throughout that builds to a joyful, positive conclusion. The writer weighs up what constitutes happiness and distills it down to people who can change young lives for the better. What a great sentiment. Well, second place, that goes to Life is Good by Mason. This piece has a cheeky humour and a lively pace to it. The writer matches the theme of life is good, while also contrasting it against the downbeat nature of COVID. Some serious points are made about getting back to school and being with other people, so it taps into the current mood about lockdown. It also explores relationships with pets and siblings, a dog with bad breath, a brother with a caterpillar moustache. That's very recognisable stuff. It makes the most of rhyming structure, it exudes energy and fun, and this is a piece with personality. And now I'm very pleased to announce that our category winner is What Makes Life Good by Jessica. What can I say? This piece buzzes with high energy and it made us smile. There was obviously a cheeky, fun personality behind these words. It has upbeat verses that clearly express many positive situations and actions and relationships in this writer's life. Swimming, watching TV, reading, hugs, they all play a part in making them happy. The short phrases evoke happy times, poem-like and autobiographical, with hints at a life that's full of fun. Surfing with the Wave Project, baking cakes, reading books. It's all happiness indeed. So, well done, very well done to Jessica and all our young writers. It's been an honour to read your wonderful words and celebrate your talent tonight.
What makes life good? What makes me happy? It makes me happy to eat healthily. I always eat my veg and fruit 5 a day. My new family care about me and give me lots of hugs. I like to cuddle them back and cuddle with the dogs. I love going to the beach and swimming in the blue sea with the fishes. I go surfing with the Wave Project. It is awesome. I have fun in the sun. I get splashed by cold, wet, salty water, going on my slide and swing, and bouncing on my trampoline. Makes me very happy. Me and Sarah like to bake beautiful, yummy cake. And I like to eat it too. Why not? Playing with my friends at school, running around with a football, whilst chasing the boys around the playground, watching TV with Sarah and David. At the weekend we watch movies. It makes me feel really, really happy and loved. I love reading my books because it takes me to a magical world. My reading is getting really, really, really good. And that puts me in a good mood.
Big thanks to Em and Alan and our young judges Ryan and Tioni for judging the primary category. And well done to our first winner of the night. Next up tonight is the lower secondary category, and here to announce the results are judges Abby Elphinstone and Cynthia Murphy.
Hi everyone! It has been an absolute honour to be part of this wonderful competition. Abby, Lucas, Saffron and I had a really tough job deciding on the winners, so a massive well done to you all. I am now going to announce our 3 commended entries for the lower secondary category. Our first commended entry is Home by Andre. We loved the feeling of security that this poem gave us. The use of repetition really grounded it and made it feel secure and familiar. We loved the way that the tone changed as the writer became happier and more comforted by the love of their family. Well done. Our second commended entry is What Makes Life Good by Olivia Grace. This is a really charming, upbeat poem that creates the illusion of warm and fuzzy memories. There are some really beautiful images here, especially the peace and serenity of listening to the birds. We loved the sense of joy at the end, and that last line is just perfection. Our third commended entry is What Coronavirus and Lockdown Means to Me by Reese. What a beautiful poem. A real strength of character shone through here as the poet reflects upon the opportunities for growth and joy in an otherwise very difficult time. It has a lovely twist halfway through where it turns all of the negatives into positives. There are some wonderful memories and a real feeling of contentment. Well done, everybody. I loved reading your entries, and I am now going to hand over to Abby for the top 3.
Hello everyone, I was thrilled to take part in the judging panel for this year's Voices competition again. The standard was incredible, your entries really impressed us, so well done everybody. I'm delighted to now reveal our top 3 for the lower secondary category. So, in third place is What Makes Life Good by Lola. This poet uses the poem's structure to reflect meaning brilliantly. This layout really drew us in. We loved the downward motion, the downward line for drinking coffee, and the archway of trees. There's a fantastic rhyme and rhythm to the ending, and there is such a lot of promise here. In second place is My Good Life Below by Ryan. We cannot believe this was written by an 11-year-old. It is fantastic. I read it multiple times aloud because it has such a great rhythm. The imagery is so vibrant, it's packed with heart, and joy emanates from every single line. We especially love the rhythm of the line, crazy singing, dancing, fancy dress and buttered jacket spuds, and the imagery of bonfires in the garden with pastry twists from ember fires. Well done. Now, our winner for the lower secondary category is My Family by Cody. There are some truly heartwarming images here. I know exactly what the poet means about climbing up high, in this case the Eiffel Tower, and feeling happy and free. I also love the contemplative nature of the phrase, I see the same moon every night. It is always the same. It always looks different. And the openness and variety of the travelling life. This piece beautifully stirs up memories, hopes and dreams. Very well done to you, Cody, and to all the brilliant young writers.
I want to get out of care. I want to go travelling with all the members of my family. I am a traveller, so this is what I like. This is what we do. This is our lifestyle. The lovely part of travelling is getting to meet new people. I want to travel all around the world again. I like seeing new places. One of my best memories is Paris. I liked the smell of fresh bread, sharing food with my dad, trying different experiences and seeing very smartly dressed people. I found Parisians unpleasant. Only tourists smile in Paris. I noticed the food is fresh and the hotels are luxurious. The city is well looked after. My best memory is to climb to the extreme top of the Eiffel Tower with my dad and my little brother. I felt so happy and free. It was extraordinary. As we went over a bridge, we did a padlock with my dad, my brother and myself. to show respect and care for each other. I was proud at the time. It was a dream come true. When we went back to the UK, it was cold, wet and miserable. However, I have had many memories with me and some souvenirs, clothes and a piece of rock I found next to the wall of love. I love seeing different places. You never are at the same place all the time. When I wake up, I see different houses, different countries. I see the same moon every night. It's always the same. It always looks different. My life will be good as I will travel with my dad. Especially, I like to explore the exotic seas and beaches. My dad will always stand in front of my corner. I will always in front of his.
A very big thank you to Abby and Cynthia and our young judges for the category, Lucas and Saffron. And of course, very, very well done to our winner. Congratulations. I'm now pleased to introduce our next judges, Crystal D and Callan Martin, to announce the upper secondary category.
Hi everyone, it's been a real pleasure this year to be an upper secondary category judge alongside Crystal, Stephen and Rona. I know just how important an opportunity and a space and a platform this competition is in allowing young people a chance to share their voice and their creativity too. From all four of us as judges, I just want to say a very big well done for all who took part. It really was not an easy category or a competition to judge, but in no particular order, here are our 3 commended entries. Our first commended entry is for Why Is Life Good by Chloe. Chloe's writing is so emotionally raw and honest that it's made all the more powerful because of it. It's written in a way that from the first line hooks its reader in and draws us through the piece, making us feel and experience the writing all for ourselves. More than this though, Chloe has created a piece of work and writing that is so thought-provoking that it has stayed with each of us judges long after we finished its final line. Our second commended entry is for The Best Day Ever, a poem written by my dog Frank, by Ella. Ella and Frank's writing is so fun to read that the joy just leapt off the page with its tail wagging. For each of us judges, we just couldn't stop smiling as we read it, finding the piece to be really creative, but also really heartwarming too, doing a brilliant job at showing just how much love there is shared between Frank and Ella and the relationship that they have. This poem was a real joy to read. Our third commended piece is for What Makes Life Good by Megan. Megan's poetry is so visual and descriptive that we are right there in the moment, watching as raindrops race down the window pane and as stars march across the night sky. But more than this though, more than these beautiful descriptions, Megan has created a poem with real heart and a message at its core. A message that says that sometimes, if not all the time, the joy and the goodness in life can be found in those small moments that we sometimes overlook.
Hello, Crystal here. I'm really proud to be back again as a Voices judge this year. The competition is such an important way for care experienced young people to express themselves. I've really enjoyed reading your entries and seeing where your imagination has taken you. Now, on to our top 3. In third place is What Makes Life Good by Joy. I thought your poem was very sweet and I loved how you rounded it off by thanking those who have helped you on your journey. Congratulations and thank you so much for taking part. In second place is What Makes Life Good by Georgia. This was a fantastic poem that I found very enjoyable to read. Thank you so much for sharing this moving piece with us and congratulations. And finally, our winner for the upper secondary category is Keys by Claire. Thank you so much for sharing this personal and touching story with us. Your words had me gripped from the start. Congratulations and best wishes to you and your brother from all of us on the judging panel.
On average, 500,000 people die in the UK every year. Last year, One of those flickering numbers was my brother. I felt pain like never before, sorrow that had been unrecognisable before this moment, and loneliness beyond human reason. But I also felt love. My mother sat me down at the table, took hold of my hand, and told me a glow stick has to break before it can shine. Matthew was gone, but don't let his passing be in vain. To this day, I use that message to spread the joy and happiness that I was so lucky to experience, even to strangers. One day, I saw a man sleeping on the bench outside of my sixth form, and when it was time to leave, I slipped a £10 note into a sleeping bag. Not because I was told to, or even because it was the kind thing to do, but because it was what Matthew would have wanted me to do. As children, we always had plenty of food, toys, clothes. Money was never an issue for us, until we got taken into care. Then it became harder, a struggle, a sort of survival of the fittest. And he sacrificed everything for me, and others. When he turned 18, he moved into his own apartment and ended up taking people in from the streets to help them, and even ended up on the streets himself. Not because he was told to, but because he knew it was the right thing to do. And I shouted at him. I really shouted, not understanding why he would sacrifice everything for other people. But he replied simply with, "I need to spread love wherever I go. I'll let no one ever come to me without leaving happier." Mother Teresa said that. Well, it helped me to understand. Even if I'm going through hardships, I can make someone else's life better. So that's what I do. Now that he's no longer here, I help everyone I can, sharing smiles with people, helping others when they're shopping, when getting off the bus. Any little thing I can do to help, I will. And it's helped make my life better. My life is livable. My life is good. Even though sometimes I can feel upset, torn apart, broken, I can always feel Matthew sitting next to me, his hand on my shoulder, steadying me. I feel like by living my life full of joy and love, I'm sharing it with him. The life he always wanted, but never had. So, I suppose, every morning when the sun wakes me up and I tumble out of bed, I feel lucky. Because he and so many others don't have that option. My life is great because of what I've been through. Life is like a piano. The white keys represent happiness and the black show sadness. But as you go through life's journey, remember the black keys also create music.
Thanks so much to Crystal and Callan and our young judges, Stephen and Rona. And well done to our upper secondary winner. Our final category tonight is the Care Leaver category, and I am delighted to introduce you to Kirsty Capes and Joelle Taylor, who are going to announce the results.
Hello everyone, it's an honour to be with you virtually tonight and to be involved in this incredible competition. Kirsty, Taishik, Sophia and I had such an incredibly difficult time judging the Care Leaver category, as the standard, as you might imagine, was so high. So you should all of you be very, very proud of your achievement. I'm delighted to now reveal our 3 commended entries for the category. Our first commended entry is What Makes Life Good by Alicia. We loved the universality of this writing, how the simple things hold real space in the story. In spite of that, it's not a complacent piece. It works hard to remind us that just sitting here now watching this is one of the good things if you allow it to be. Well done, Alicia. Our second commended entry is What Makes Life Good by Jasmine. Again, this piece celebrates the balance of life, stating that in order to feel the good, we must also experience some of the bad to know the journeys that we've all been on. Philosophical and questing. This is a lovely poem. Well done, Jasmine. And finally, our third commended entry is Wildlife Wonders by Summer. I love this piece of writing. We thought it was an incredibly imaginative piece, and we loved the central concept of looking back at nature to when life was good through the VCR. The details in the story are really vibrant and alive, and I would personally urge the author to keep writing this story, take us to some strange and wonderful places. Once again, thank you to everybody who submitted this year for the Care Leavers category, and see you again soon. Thank you.
I was absolutely delighted to be invited to be a Voices judge this year. As a care leaver myself, writing has always been an important part of my life. So the competition is just such an exciting opportunity for young people to get their voices heard. And I've loved reading all of the work and discovering your talent. So now I'm excited to reveal the top 3 entries in the Care Leaver category. So in third place is 8th of October by Courtney. This is a wonderful accomplished piece of prose with lovely details which piqued my interest. The military uniform, Karen Carpenter, Ada Matthews, and the author conjures up incredible atmospheric imagery and invokes feelings of calm and serenity. We really love this piece and we were totally drawn into the author's world. In second place is Into the Blue by Shannon. We really loved the hopeful and uplifting message of this piece, the excitement and anticipation for all the good things that are yet to happen. The author really captured that optimism, and I loved all of the sense and touch-oriented details which really drew me into the story and the character. And finally, the winner in the Care Leaver category is Happiness in Dark Places by Carla. So we absolutely adored this entry. The poem was really evocative and heartbreaking in how it rendered the mundanities of life and the grief over a lost relationship. And I really loved all of the small details in this poem, like the poorly cut mangoes, the NCIS box set, and the dressing gowns. And I think the PS at the end was such a hopeful way to end the poem. It made me cry. So a huge congratulations to Carla and to all of the other shortlisted entrants tonight.
Happiness in Dark Places. Bonding over jammy dodgers and crying over tea, watching NCIS on an old box TV. In the darkest moments you find someone like you, shipped into a stranger's house, sticky labelled fragile or unwanted goods, welcomed into cold arms, left feeling alone in a place meant to be home. I felt so lost, but there you were as I awkwardly loomed in the kitchen. Your smile showed such brilliance and kindness and resilience. You welcomed me, and it was the first time I felt safe. In a cold house, we ranted in dressing gowns, warming up the desolate experience of foster care. We almost died doing the cinnamon challenge, but choked over laughter. We poorly cut mangoes and snuck ham from the fridge. We woke up early and roamed the morning streets, stumbling around the mud flats at the beach, an escape from the hardships we faced. Caked in mud, she swallowed into the abyss. You saved me from being engulfed by the sadness and the mud. We wore the brown sludge as a triumph on our faces, clothes and souls. I remember the rain and the thunder as the storm rolled in, walking back from one of our adventures. The bolt of lightning, mere meters away, made us run, holding each other dearly. The bond formed as we navigated through the forest, back to the safety of our dressing gowns. I left that safety too soon, boxed up and sent to another house, but that didn't stop us. We met at the seaside on a weekday evening, the arcade lights illuminating the darkness outside, happiness illuminating us too. We laughed and played everything we could, winning keychains that held that blessed moment. We walked outside and crossed the sandy barrier to the edge of the sea. The waves were peaceful and calm, the opposite of us, full of hurt and rage, sick of being displaced. We screamed at the ocean, pouring our hearts into the dark water, with the moon offering her consolation. It felt as if the ocean had rinsed away our pain in an attempt to unburden us. We left, feeling lighter, our hearts a little less heavy. I moved again and again until I was out, but I held those moments as a reminder to keep fighting, because there will always be a glimmer of happiness in the darkest of places. Your glimmers of light saved me, and I will forever be grateful. Thank you. You made life good. P.S. I still remembered how you like your tea.
Well done to our winner, and thank you again to Kirsty, Joelle, and our young judges, Taishik and Sophia. We're now nearing the end of this evening's event, and I'd like to introduce you next to Bridget Robinson, Managing Director of Coram Voice, who would like to share a few words with you about the competition and all it has achieved over the past 6 years.
Thank you. Hello, and a huge welcome to everyone who's here tonight. I'm so glad that you can join us. And I wanted to say a huge congratulations as well to all the children and young people that entered our Voices competition. You are amazing and deserve a huge round of applause. The last year has been really difficult and presented many of us with lots of challenges because of the pandemic. And I wanted to thank the children and young people who sent in their amazing poems and stories for all your creativity and inspiration during this challenging time. You really are stars. It's always an honour for me to be part of this competition. And over the last year, I'm delighted to say that 1,200 children and young people just like you have entered the competition. It's made such a difference for many of the children and young people that have entered, some of whom have gone on to write more and more, taking their passion for writing and poetry to write articles in school newsletters, write articles for local and national magazines, and even to write books. We have at Coram Voice had to adapt the work that we do over the last year to make sure that we can provide the support that children and young people need every single day. We've supported 15,000 young people through our Always Heard advice service, ensuring they get advocates to get the support they need to know about their rights, and also ensure that their voices are heard when decisions are made in relation to their lives. We recognised also that the last year and isolation and lockdown presented many challenges for young people in relation to feeling more isolated. We were therefore really pleased to be able to launch a national voice run by and for children and young people as a National Children in Care Council, making sure children and young people had their voices heard at a local and national level in England. We're also pleased that a National Voice have continued that work, working with the Independent Review of Social Care to make sure that children and young people's voices about what they think is important about the care system, and also what they think needs to change in relation to the care system and leaving care, are heard. If you'd like to find out more about what we do, you can visit us at coramvoice.org.uk. Without further ado, I'd like to again say a huge thank you to all the people who are able to be with us tonight, and a particular massive thank you to the children and young people who have entered the competition, to those inspiring and aspirational young writers that we are delighted to have had the privilege of reading what they've written. I've had a wonderful time here, and I hope you've also enjoyed our virtual event this year. I am so proud of all the children and young people, and I'd like to say a huge, big round of applause to all of you. Well done, you really rock.
Thanks, Bridget. Tonight's event is now drawing to a close, so I'm shortly going to hand you over to Dr. Carol Holmden, CEO of Coram, to share a few closing words with you all. But before I do that, I just wanted to say that it's been an absolute pleasure to be involved in Voices again this year, and a joy to see the competition go from strength to strength, despite how difficult it has been for everyone, and perhaps even more so for some of the entrants in our competition this year. I find myself, as ever, inspired by the positivity, the kindness, the forward-looking energy, vitality and hopefulness of these young people's work. If you entered the competition, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing those wonderful things with us. It's a privilege to hear about all the things that make life good for you. And your powerful, powerful words help us to better understand your experiences, and also help us to try and figure out what it is we have to work on to make this a better world for you. I'm inspired by your words of hope, honesty and positivity, and I hope above all that you will be encouraged to keep on writing and to keep on being creative and keep on trying to be creative in whatever area attracts you and that you think you might be worth having a go in. Thank you so much. All the best. See you next year, I hope. Bye.
I have loved being a part of tonight's event and discovering all of your amazing talent and hard work. I hope you've all enjoyed it too, and thank you to everyone who has joined us tonight. Please do share your comments with us in the live chat and on social media, and all of the shortlisted entries will be available to read on the Coram Voices website, so please do go do that. I know I will be doing this after tonight's show. Congratulations again to all of our talented young superstar writers, and I hope and we hope to see you back again for next year's competition.
Hello everyone. It falls to me as Chief Executive of Coram to make the concluding remarks for today's event, and I want to start by congratulating all the young writers who participated in the competition. How very proud we are to see how the competition has grown over the last 6 years, with more than 1,200 inspiring entries from talented young people. It's never been more important that we all hear the voice and experience of care experienced children and young people as the government undertakes its independent review of children's social care, and to inspire us all to do more to help them find their way in the future. The competition would not be possible without you and without the generous support of all those who you have seen in the event tonight. Thank you for standing by children and young people in the Voices competition. In particular, I would like to thank Cadence Innova, our headline sponsor, Our competition judges, Em, Alan, Cynthia, Abby, Callan, Crystal, Joel and Kirsty, as well as our young judges, Ryan, Stephen, Tioni, Lucas, Stephen, Rona, Taichik and Sophia. Thanks to everyone who supported the competition and shared it through their networks, helping us to shortlist hundreds of entries. And of course, thank you so much to Peter for again giving your wonderful support and hosting the competition awards alongside our inspiring, fantastic co-host, Sophia. If you've been inspired by what you have seen, please do think about supporting the competition next year in some way, and please get in touch with us through coramvoice.org.uk. Finally, I urge you all to read, reread and share all of the shortlisted pieces which are now available on the Coram Voice website. The talents and voices of our young writers need to be heard and celebrated. Thank you all for participating in Voices 2021.